Hello everybody, it is Coach Erica here, your friendly and fabulous online personal trainer and health and menopause coach. Happy Wednesday. I am here almost every week talking about things health and fitness. Wednesdays around 7:30 a.m. live, but you can always catch it on replay. And today I wanted to talk about keys to fitness post-menopause. I talk a lot about perimenopause. Post-menopause is a whole nother part of our life. And if you think about it as a female, the average woman goes into menopause like early 50s. You could spend almost half of your life actually post-menopause. So it's a time of life that's important, is not talked about, and there are many of us in the fitness industry these days trying to normalize the conversations around cycles, perimenopause, and now post-menopause. There's lots of things to think about post-menopause in success in fitness and weight loss in those years, but I'm only going to talk about two today. I'm actually working on a free webinar specifically for post-menopause, so just keep your eyes open. I will advertise it here, as well as my other social media channels and my email address, my email list when I am ready to go. So, 2 tips for fitness post-menopause, and they both have to do with maintaining your strength and muscle mass through time. Number 1, you absolutely need to be doing strength training as you age for a couple of reasons. Number 1, to protect your bone density. After menopause, your estrogen is at the lowest it has ever been in your life. Estrogen helps protect your bone density. So that is why many women, after they reach menopause, the rates of fractures, osteopenia, which is just the step right below osteoporosis, and osteoporosis are often diagnosed, and you see those happening a lot because you don't have the hormonal support to maintain your bone density. So one way to naturally combat that loss of bone density is through strength training. Heavy lifting or lifting to fatigue. Now, you might notice that post-menopause you have limitations you didn't used to have. Maybe you have arthritis creeping up, old injuries, chronic pain, that kind of stuff. So it's important to be working within your abilities, working pain-free, but challenging yourself either through lifting heavier or lifting more reps to get that fatigue and that resistance that is required to build bone. And the reason why resistance training works is that resistance against bone signals it to build new bone. So if you're no longer getting that help from your hormones, strength training is the way to go. Bone density and muscle mass actually are both also like bank accounts. So if you're watching this and you're in your earlier years, you want to build up your bank account now so that as we naturally start to lose our bone density and our muscle mass, you have more to begin with. So key number 1, strength training, 2 to 3 times a week. Do it with a professional so that they can help you, like me, so they can help you determine what your personal challenge weights are, right? So a lot of times it's more than what women think, especially if they don't have a lot of injuries. So 2 to 3 times a week on the strength training. Add some high intensity intervals, very short. Could be low impact on a bike, on a rower, boosting that heart rate up really high for very short periods of time. That's very effective as we age to keep our heart and lungs strong and also to burn calories. And then the rest of the days, do stuff that's fun, hiking, swimming, easy cycling, gardening, things that bring you joy and are fairly low impact and low intensity. That is key number 1. Key number 2 is eating protein. I know I always harp on this. People get tired of me talking about eating protein, but as I've talked about just recently, a lot of the recommendations that are still out there from research were done on men. And that's what is being used to give women their protein needs. Not only on men, but sedentary men, not active men, and they tend to be younger. So active women need more protein than a sedentary man. So the research was flawed to begin with. There's research going on now on women, but it is not quite there yet. So the recommendation from the professionals I follow, like Dr. Stacy Sims, is typically a gram per pound body weight of protein per day. That even goes higher after menopause because your body just isn't able to process protein as well. So if you have specific questions about it, if you need help, see a nutritionist, see a dietitian who is, I would say, educated on the needs of protein for women who are older. That doesn't mean don't eat anything else. You're eating protein, fruits, vegetables, whole grains, but you got to get in the sufficient amount of protein. The second thing that becomes really important is the timing of when you have your protein. Because you can't absorb it as well, you want to absorb it when your body is most wanting it. And that is no more than 30 minutes after your workout. So especially if you're doing strength training or high intensity intervals, no more than 30 minutes after your workout, you want to get in a combination of protein and carbs. Why do you want protein? That is the building block of your muscle. And the two things we're trying to spare or maintain after menopause is bone density and muscle mass, okay? They both start to decrease as we age. Bone density is preserved through strength training. The muscle mass is preserved or even built through strength training. But then you need help. Your body needs fuel to be able to rebuild that muscle, and that's where it comes from, the protein. So my two top tips for fitness and weight loss after menopause, at least for this week, my two tips are strength training 2 to 3 times a week, and then also eating enough protein. Start tracking it. Hey, Felicia, start tracking it. See how much you're eating and try to slowly increase it if you're not meeting the recommendations for active women. All right? So I hope you enjoyed that quick little snippet of the 2 things I recommend today. If you're just coming in, when I log off, hit replay, watch the beginning. If you feel like you are ready to be guided and you need help to maintain your muscle mass, maintain your bone density, I have an 8-week strength program right now that I am launching. I launched it earlier this week. 8 weeks of strength training sessions, either semi-privates or classes, specifically geared to lifting heavier and building muscle as a female over 40. So you can message me if you're interested in that. You can do it at home or here in the studio, at home on Zoom live, or here in person. So I hope that was helpful. Go out and make it a great day, and I will see you guys next week.